and then they are collecting the data, collecting the the virtual network used in the cloud, right? All the virtual something like the VPN, all the VPN addresses can be collected, right? Yeah. Okay, so that of course this require additional license. This is a separate license, right? And this is actually covered under the advanced configuration. Now you also have the cloud observer. Basically the cloud observer main thing is for you to monitor all the network in use on the different cloud environment. Whether they are in a public cloud, as you can see, these are the public cloud, AWS, Azure, and Google, or they are on the VMware. So the cloud observer will be able to discover all the VM, whatever VM they are running in the cloud, right? And will be able to detect the status of all the VM, whether the VM have stopped, whether the VM is running, and you will be able to view all these things, right, in the cloud observer. Okay, again, this is a separate feature by itself, and they require separate license. And the cloud observer information can be replicated to the network object management, and for you to monitor your entire network infrastructure, not only the cloud, but also the on-prem infrastructure. See? So that is network object monitoring, for you to monitor all your network under one dashboard. Again, this is a separate product by itself. Okay, now the important thing here is for you to understand IPAM, right? How you can configure IPAM. Now, IPAM is on the management server. IPAM is on the management server, right? That is the IP inventory. Okay. Now, when you want to actually use IPAM, you have to know that the information for IPAM are organized in a hierarchical model. So in IPAM, if you want to use the IPAM inventory, you need to create things like space, block, subnet, pool addresses. Okay, right? So this is the hierarchical structure. These are how things are organized in IPAM. Fine. We will cover one by one. Right? So we will cover this one by one. So first of all, in IPAM, yeah, you must have a you must create the space. By default, you have a local space. Not important, you can delete it, and then you can create your own space. By default, there's a local, right? Yeah, you don't have to use it. You can delete it, you can recreate your own, right? So yeah, so once you go into IPAM, the IPAM, you can see the icon in the sidebar is a three circle in a triangular shape, right? So you can select the IPAM. You have the IPAM menu to manage the space, manage the network, manage the pool, manage the address, right? Okay, now let's talk about the space and the network. Now, space is a logical container. Basically, a space is just a name to identify the network, right? So you might create a space based on region, because you have regional data center, and then you have different network used in different region. See, right? You can have unlimited numbers of space, right? And unlimited numbers of network under the space. Clear that, right? Yeah. Now, one thing you do have to know that within a space, right? Yeah, because a space is a logical container. Within a space, IP address must be unique. Network address must be unique. So you cannot have network address overlapping within the same space, right? Yeah, IP address definitely must be unique. Is it okay? Can follow? Yeah. Between two different space, you can have the same subnet ID. If let's say you have two different space, you can create the same subnet ID on both the space. But within the space, no. Subnet address, network address cannot be overlapped. Okay? Yeah. Fine. So this is an example to show you have in a space headquarter. Yeah. And within headquarter, you have two network blocks. One is 10.1, another one is 172.16. All these private IP. Isn't it? Can follow? Yeah. You can create another space, right? Yeah. So when you create another space, you can have the same network address as long as they are on different space. Are you clear with that? Right? So the space can be different region, the space can be different subsidiary of the organization, depends. Right? Yeah. Okay, good. So to create a space, you can just go to the space, right? Yeah, click on the add button. This is the plus sign, add. Then after that, you just have to give a name, nothing much. Okay, that. So you just have to give a name, give a description. So once the space is created, you will be able to see the space name and the description. Okay, that can follow? Yeah. So now, once the space is created, if you want to edit the space, you can change. You can modify the name. You can go to edit to edit it. Right click on the space. Right click, select edit to edit it, or go to property under the property windows under the property listing page. You will see there is a main property panel. Under the main property panel, you can click on edit also. So this edit in the main property panel and the edit menu, the right click menu edit, they are the same. So the shortest way for you to edit a space is just right click, select edit. You don't have to go to the property, main property, click on edit. There is a longer way to do it. Okay? Fine. Now you can select, you can select the space and you can delete it. That's why there is a trash. The trash is to delete the space. But be careful. When you delete a space, you are deleting all the network under the space. Okay? Yeah, you are deleting all the network under the space. Everything's are gone, not reversible, unless you restore from backup, if you have a backup. So if you have backup the management database, yeah, before you delete the space, yeah, you can restore back from the backup. Okay, yeah, but if not, it's gone. Right, so that is a warning to you. Delete the whole space, delete all the network inside. Oh, okay, good. Now, under the space, you're going to have network block. Okay, yeah. So you must have a network block before you can have subnet. So that's why network block is a level 0. Subnet is from level 1 onward. Because you can have subnet under another subnet. So level 1 subnet, level 2 subnet, level 3 subnet. Network block is always level 0. So that's why I mentioned you must always have a network block first before you can create subnet. Fine? Yeah. So network block basically is actually defining the entire block of network, like 10.1 or maybe network 10. 10/8. Isn't it? Yeah. So that is another block. Under the block, you can create subnet. Are you clear with that? Right? Same thing, no overlapping. You can use public network address or private network address, does not matter, because it's just an inventory. Are you clear with that? Right? Now, subnet is actually the breakdown from the block. So you can further subnet the block. See? Yeah. And you can further subnet a subnet. So under the subnet, you can have subnet. So those are the VLSM, variable length subnet mask. Right? Yeah. So yeah, so the subnet will contain IP address. The block contain subnet. The block is a container for subnet. Or subnet is a container for IP address. Okay, that can follow? Yeah. So yeah, so this is just to show you the hierarchy. You have a space private. Under the space, you have the block. These are the different block you create. 10.1, 10.2, 10.3, these are the block. Under the block 10.1, you create the subnet. 10.1.0/24, 10.1.1/24. Yeah. See? Okay, now this is to show you in a diagram form. So here you have a private space. Under the private space, you have four block. One is a US block. So under the US block, these are the subnet. So you have a Boston subnet, you have a San Fran subnet, you have a Atlanta, you have a Miami. Okay, yeah. Okay, so how do you create a block? So you can you can go to the space. I mean, you select the space first, right? So once you are in the space, you can click on add. So in the add, you choose block network type. Oh, yeah. So after that, you give a name, you give the network address and the prefix or the subnet mask. You can either choose the prefix or you choose the subnet mask, right? One of it, right? And that's all. That's all. That's all. You just click on OK. So the block will be created, right? Very straightforward. Oh, now if you create a block, if you want to create a block without selecting a space, look at that, you're in O space. So you haven't selected the space and you go and add a block. They will automatically ask you for the space name. So you have to pick a space before you can create the block. But if you are already in a space, when you add a block, they ask you for the name. Yeah, they ask you for the block name, they ask you for the network address. See the difference? So depending on where you are, you can add a block, either under O space or either within the space to create the block. Are you clear with that? Right? So it's just to show you, yeah, the GUI is friendly. Oh, fine. Now, over here, if you select the space, yeah, you will be able to see all the network in the space. So this is to show you there are 4 network block created under the space. And you look at the icon. The icon is a 3 circle in a shape of a square. So when you see this icon, 3 circle in the shape of a square, this is a network block. So these are the network block under the private space. The numbers of IP address, right? The current allocated. Basically the IP address allocated for the subnet. So how many address have been used for subnet? See, so 3.1%. Are you clear with that? Right? So you can see that. So this one 0 means no subnet created yet. Fine? Yeah. Okay, good. So that is actually for you to view the network block information under the space. Fine? Yeah. You can view IPv6 if you are using IPv6 inventory. If not, it will be IPv4. Right? Now, under the private space, right? You can create subnet. So when you click on the add, you can choose subnet instead of block. Because you want to add a network can be a block or subnet. So when you want to create a subnet, you must choose the network type subnet. Okay? So here they choose subnet. And then they will ask you to pick the block. Are you clear with that? Fine. Yeah. Because you never choose the block. If you never choose the block, they will ask you to pick the block. Okay? Yeah. So then you will be able to define same thing, give a subnet name, and then you're going to give the network address. Fine. By default, it's a terminal network. Terminal network means a subnet cannot have another subnet. So you cannot have a subnet under this subnet because it's a terminal. It can only have IP address. So you only have IP address under the subnet, right, to be assigned to different machines. That is a terminal network. If you uncheck the terminal network, you can create other subnet under the subnet. So it means that you can further subnet the network into another subnet. Okay? Yeah. By default, it's a terminal network. So once this is added, right? Yeah. So anyway, this is to view the network block. Okay. For you to list the subnet inside the block, you click on the block. So currently, you're looking at all the network block under the private space. So if you want to view what is a subnet under US, so you can either click on the subnet ID. You can either click on the network block ID, or you can click on the network name. Either one. They will bring you into the subnet. So they are showing you now all the network under US. Okay? Yeah. So these are all the subnet. See the subnet icon? The subnet icon is actually 3 circles in a shape of a triangle. And do you see there's a gray color here? Means level 1. This is a level 1 subnet. Or if you look at block, see, block is level 0. That's why there's no gray circle. Okay? Under the block, you have the subnet. So level 1, gray. If you have subnet under subnet, then the lower subnet is level 2. Are you clear with that? Can follow? Yeah. So you will be able to see under this subnet, these are the subnet and what are the current IP address in use in the subnet. The percentage in terms of IP use in the subnet. IP use means the IP address assigned to the host. Okay? Yeah. Now, in order for you to create the option for you to adding network. So for you to add a network, you can choose to add it individually, or you can choose to import from CSV. So let's say I want to create a network block. I can import it from a CSV file. Right? I want to create a subnet. I can import it from a CSV file because you might be migrating from other IP inventory system to IPAM. So if you're migrating from other IP inventory system to IPAM, you can export the existing network into a CSV file and use that to import into Solid Server, right? We're going to talk about CSV later on on the last day. How to import from CSV, how to import export, right? We'll talk about this on the last day. Now, of course, for you to add network, you can add it individually. You can add it individually, the network block, right? Yeah, so you can add it manually. So just like what you see just now, right? You go to the space, you click on the add button, then you will be able to add a network block manually. Are you clear with that? To create a subnet, same thing, you also can add it manually like what you see just now. Okay? You click on the plus sign. Then you will be able to add the subnet under the block. Right? Another way for you to add subnet, another way for you to add subnet manually, another way for you to add subnet is by search. By search. We're going to talk about this by search now. We have seen the manual process. Use the plus sign. There, the plus sign. So this is the plus sign. Right? This is add by search. Isn't it? Right? So you already learned how to create a subnet by using the plus sign manual. So now, import, as I say, we will talk about the import later on. Is it okay? So now if you look into the menu here, you have a plus sign, which is add manual, network block, or subnet. You can also add by search, network subnet only. Okay? So add by search is only for network subnet, not for network block. Okay. Now, let's have an understanding what is this add by search. Now, when you allocate subnet address to, when you allocate the network block address to different subnet, I believe you want to actually allocate the subnet address in a sequential fashion. So let's say, for example, if this is a 10.1 subnet, if this is a 10.1 network block, so the first subnet will be 10.1.0. The second subnet will be 10.1.1. Then the third subnet will be 10.1.2, sequential, right? So in this way, it will be easy for you to plan and optimize the usage of the network block address. Are you clear with that? Yeah. If not, you will be end up into things like this. So this is a network block. Okay. One of the subnet is occupying this address. Then in between the difference in between the first subnet and the second subnet, some of the address in between are not used. So you have gap in between. The gap in between are network address in the block that are not used. See? So this is considered like it's not optimized because you have gap, right? Your address are fragmented. Isn't it? Right? Yeah. So that is actually one of the purpose for add by search. When you add by search, they will propose you when you want to create a subnet in a block. When you want to create a subnet in a block and you create the subnet using add by search, they will propose to you what is the next IP address you should use. What is the next network address you should use to avoid fragmentation, to avoid the gap in between the network address. So they propose to you. The more star is the highest recommended. So you see, they ask you to use either 10.11.11, if not 10.11.13, if not 10.11.14. See? So they give you the suggested 10 list. In the highest recommended order. See? So the first one will be the highest recommended network address. Right? Yeah. Are you clear with that? Okay. Now, one thing good about efficient IP solid server, they allow you to see the block mapping, the block map, basically the network address map. So you can see now if you are on the US block, you are on the US block, and these are all the subnet under the US. So when you see this breadcrumb, you have the US, you are in the US block, you can see this is called chevron. So click on the double chevron, you will be able to see network map for the US block. So when you click on the network map of the US block, they show you the block, subnet block. In a /24 mask. See, 10.1 is already in use. 10.1.0 is already in use. 10.1.1 is already in use. 10.1.2 until 10.1.3 is already in use by one subnet. You just have to mouse over. When you mouse over to the blue line, they will give you the network name. Right? So this is a subnet with /23. These are subnet with /24. See? And the rest are not used. The gray color means the rest of the network are not used. So if you look into the network map for US block, yeah, the network address is located sequentially. So no fragmentation. Okay, which is good. Fine. So you can view that mapping. Right? So this is just a question for you. Can you think of a method to find the best network address to be assigned for these 3 network blocks? So you have 3 network blocks. You definitely in the space you have 3 network blocks. You want to find the optimum block to create a subnet. That is for /24. See, you have 3 network blocks. You just want to choose one of the best block to create the subnet that is /24. right? Yeah. So if you want to do that, so here is actually the answer. You can add by search. You can go to O network, and then you can do add by search. See, when you say O network means all the block, and you want to do the add by search, they will propose to you across different block. Across, you can see across US, France, UK, these are the different blocks. So they will tell you the best one is you create it in US. 10.1.5. Right? So that is also another usage for add by search. So they will suggest to you the best block, right, in the space to create a subnet. Are you clear with that? Right? Okay, good. So here is to give you the operation that you can perform on the network. Oh, so when you go to the network here, you can select the network, or you can select the network block, you can select the subnet, you can select them. That's why you have a checkbox. Once you select them, you can use the menu. So you have an edit menu where you can merge. I can merge two subnet. Are you clear with that? Can follow? Yeah. So you can also do split. I can split a subnet into two subnet, 4 subnet, 8 subnet. Equal sign. Right? Yeah. You will be able to discover network. Right? You will be basically the discover network is they send a ping. They ping all the IP address in the subnet. And if they detect a response, they will update the inventory in the subnet. The IP address is in use. So if they get a response from the ping, they will update the IP address is in use automatically. Okay? Yeah. So you can ping the entire subnet. Right? Now, if you go to the tool menu, in the tool menu, you can migrate to another space. So you can migrate the subnet to another space. You can set the subnet to be in use or not in use. So you can make it managed or unmanaged. See, you might want the subnet to be temporarily not in use. You can make it unmanaged first. You want to create the subnet first, but currently it's not in use on the physical infrastructure until it will be in use maybe 2 weeks time, right? So the subnet can be created under unmanaged, right? Until it's currently in use in the physical infrastructure, then you can change it to manage. Oh, okay, good. So for deleting the network block, so this is to show you deleting. Now, what happened when you delete a block? What happened to the subnet? Right? You can see I have a block 10.1. They are subnet 10.1.0, 10.1.1, 10.1.2, 10.1.4. When I delete this block, what happened? See? So when you delete the block, okay, all the subnet, okay, will go under orphan network. So you will see an orphan network appear automatically. So because you delete the parents, the child become orphan. See? Now, if you go and recreate the network block with the same address, if you go and recreate the network block with the same address, all these orphan network will automatically go back to the block. Automatically. So as soon as you create a block match the subnet address, all the subnet that match the block will move under the block. Okay, automatically. So that's why sometimes if you accidentally delete the block, you can recreate it with the same address. Then all the subnet will go back to the block. Are you clear? Sometimes we delete the block to resize the block. So if you want to resize the block, so you might delete the block and recreate 2 smaller blocks. So as long as the subnet address match the block, they will automatically move the subnet under the block. So you can delete the block to resize it without recreating the subnet. Okay, clear? Okay, good. So this is actually to show you orphan network. So what happens when you delete a subnet? See? So the subnet have IP address, have the use IP address, isn't it? Yeah. because what is in the subnet are IP address in use. See? So when you delete a subnet, you will see orphan for the IP address. Any IP in use will go under the orphan. Your subnet is 254 address, right? 254 address. See? So any any of the IP address in the subnet is in use, it will go under the orphan. So same thing lah. Just is for you to recovery if you accidentally delete the subnet. You just have to recreate the subnet with the same network. All the orphan address will go back to the subnet. Or for you, yeah. Oh, so that is actually for the orphan address. Oh. Okay, good. So you can try to work on this lab now. So in this lab, you can try to create a space. Yeah, so you will see how to create the space, how you can create the network block, how you can create the subnet. Pretty easy, right? So same thing, I give you 15 minutes to work on the lab, and then maybe you can take a break. Okay, so we can start again maybe at 3:20. Okay, 3:20. Any questions so far? You have been very quiet. Any questions? There's only Jackie asking question. How about the rest? Okay, so still no question. Fine. So yeah, work on the lab. We start again. Yeah, we start again at let's say yeah, as I say, we start again at 3:20.